General, the manual contains the information of the rail crane RBUG machine rebuilt by the Nordco income of the Oak Creek of Wisconsin. Information is provided with the manual operation maintenance of the machine. Information regarding the operation maintenance of the OEM parts of the not Nordco manufacturers and we found at the back of this manual behind the tab marked with component data. Before become familiar with all the safety instruction controls and instruments before operating the machine. Follow all instruction carefully about this manual. The manual has been broken down into sections which have separated the index tabs. Value 1 is mechanical, has individual parts breakdown drawings for list for each of the assembly. Hydraulic includes adjustment instruction, troubleshooting of the hydraulic system, all the piping, the functional drawings, standard machine, the optional equipment. Electrical includes the electrical schematic distribution control box, cabling drawings from the machine, as well as troubleshooting instruction. Pneumatic includes the adjustment instruction, troubleshooting of the pneumatic system, and all piping functional diagrams. Drawings are standard machine optional equipment. Volume 2 is component data, includes the parts breakdown, surface instructions for the components installed on the machine that are not Nordco manufactured. For example, the engine pumps and transmission, air compressor, and generator. Your model rail crane RBUG, gross weight, rebuilt machine SN 8329, 82,000 pounds. Rebuilt machine SN 9009, 98.98.5 pounds. Rated capacity 15 tons, 18 tons. Length without the boom 17 feet 4 inches. Overall length with the boom. The travel position 49 foot 9 inches. Width 10 foot 4 inches. Height at the top of the engine exhaust the crane. The lowest angle of the position 13 feet 6 inches. Width of the crane at the highest angle 78.5, 42 and 6 inches. Boom length primary 17 feet 7 inches. Secondary 17 feet 6 inches. Travel speed 28 miles per hour maximum. Towing speed 30 miles per hour. Towing limitation 10 car maximum. Tail swimming 6 foot 11 inches. Capacities fuel tank 110 gallons. Hydraulic oil tank 220 gallons. Axle housing 4.2 gallons. Oil cooler 2 at 44.2 25 gallons or 89.6 gallons per minute total. Air compressor 3.25 gallons. Cable winder 2 gallons. Boom capacity. So see load chart. Engine John Deere model 6068H F485 Terrier 3. Idle speed 1 to 100 and 1200 RPMs. Rates horsepower under 275 horsepower at 2400 RPMs. Run speed 2100 RPMs. Transmission type Funks 2000 series 3 speed. Items capacity may vary according to the options of the machine. Approximate weight, actual weight of the according to the options of the machine. Actual weight of your machine is stenciled. Disconnect drive shaft for towing, preventing the transmission damage. Running faster will cause the cavitation damage to load sensing pump. Alright, the battery is a 212 volt DC 1150 cold cranking amps, and the ground is negative. The type, the heavy duty air brakes, 1800 RPMs and 708.8 cubic feet per minute. Tank dryer, SKF Turbo 2000, hand brakes, Elcon National Model 1180. Hydraulic system, double gear pump, Permaco 257 series 48.3 gallons per minute at 21 RPMs times 2. Single gear pump, Permaco 257 series 48.3 gallons per minute at 21 RPMs. Load sensing pump 77.5 gallons per minute at 2175 psi at 2100 ROMs and 500 psi LS setting. Alright, boom lengths, primary 17 foot 7 inches, secondary 17 foot 6 inches, load capacity, main winch, pole master planetary winch model, H12, high speed reverser, hoisting line pull, maximum pressure full drum, 62,250 pounds, bare drum, 9,756 pounds. Lower line pulp with the maximum pressure full drum, 1,474 pounds. Bare drum, 2,252 pounds. Hoisting line speed, maximum value full drum, 201 foot per minute, or 61 meters a minute. Bare drum, 129 foot per minute, or 39 meters per minute. Lower line speed, maximum volt full drum, 875 foot per minute, or 266 meters per minute. Bare drum, 558 foot per minute, or 170 meters per minute. Cable type 5/8 of an inch diameter, class 6 through 19 IWRC, not rating. Maximum cable capacity 262 feet. Maximum operating pressure 2200 psi or 152 bar. Minimum operating volume 17 gallons per minute or 50 gallons per minute. Lubricating oil volume required 1.5 gallons or 5.7 liters. Boom winch, Pullmaster planetary winch model M12 equalizer speed reserve line pull. Line pull maximum pressure, bare full drum 6,250 pounds, bare drum 9,756 pounds. Line speed maximum volume, vol drum 201 foot per minute or 61 meters per minute, bare drum 129 foot per minute or 39 meters per minute. Cable type 5/8 inch diameters, class 6 through 19, IWRC non-rating, right lay, normal lay. Maximum cable capacity 262 feet. Maximum operating pressure 2200 psi. Maximum operating volume 17 gallons or 50 gallons per minute. Lubricating oil volume required 1.5 gallons or 5.7 liters. Magnet reel rotomatic single bearer cable type 2-core number 8 gauge cable type wire. Maximum cable length 60 feet. Lubricating oil type volume required SAE 90 heavy oil. Magnet generator Gensko model HMG-10 kilowatt. Or maximum allowable round set magnet size based on generator 45-inch diameter. Do you know that the OEM maintenance instructions are included with the Volume 2 with this manual? All rights are reserved in view of the constant improvements of the equipment specification data and other technical information included the manual and subject to change. No part of this manual may be reproduced in any form by any means without written permission. Without a written permission. This manual appears very capacity rail cranes, therefore load charts, and will be included with the manual, then purchased and separately with the ordering replacement parts. Refer to load chart your cable part number to order. Alright, sling angle weight deductions. Sling angle weight deduction rated sling capacity. Example, if a load is swinging 12,000 pounds, slings at 45 the angle or 12,000 times 707 to find the new load capacity. In the case of sling load capacity, the lift should be 8,484 pounds. Sling angle 15, your factor is 2.59. Sling angle 55, factor 8.1. Alright, here, 15 is 259, 20 is 342, 25 is 423, 30 is 500, 35 is 574, 40 is 643, 45 is 707, 50 is 766, 50 is 819, 60 is 866, 65 is 906, 70 degrees is 9.4, 75 is 9.966, 80 is 985, 85 is 966, and 90 is 1.0. Nordco recommendations based on Buford wind scale. Buford number 0, greater than mile per hour, less than 1 mile per hour, calm, continue working operations. Buford number 1, speed miles 1 through 3, and 1 through 3 miles an hour, light air, continue worker operation. Adjust D-rate load necessary. Buford number 2, 4 miles per hour, wind speed 4 to 7. Light breeze, continue working operation. Adjust D-rate load necessary. 3 mile per hour wind 8 to 12. Gentle breeze, continue working operation. Adjust D-rate load as necessary. Buford number 4, wind speeds of 13 to 18 miles an hour. Moderate breeze, postpone lifting operation. Lower boom land payload and secure. Buford numbers 5 through 9 are greater than 19 miles an hour. Do not fresh breeze. Do not lift or lower boom or store. Dimensional information. And then we're going to go on to before operation. Alright, before operation, do not use the machine operation other than for which it is intended. The FR regulations require the copy of the operation manual to be kept in the machine at all times. Additional copy of the operation manual only can be ordered by Nordco, part sales 1-800-647-1724. The all good practice becomes totally familiar with the machines you are going to operate. Improper use of the machines for any type of the operation can cause serious injuries or death. Following pages detail the information. Danger: an untrained operator subject to himself and other details in serious injuries. You must not operate this crane unless you are trained and authorized for the crane operation. You understand the following: the safety under recommendation. Continue with the manual. Your employer will work rules and applicable government regulations, certifications as required by the U.S. state. You are sure that all safety signs and guards or other safety features are placed in proper condition. Alright, pre-operation pre-operation upper frame structure. Cab 1. The cab is steel reinforced, contains all the controls running the machine, the exclusion but not limited to center overhead control console, hand controls, propulsion, brake, footing, switch. The cab contains 2 seats, one for the operator, one for the rider, with the 2 outdoors with the access door with the winch components. It should be noted that when parking the machine, the operator is required to set the hand wheel brake of the red wheel, located on one corner of the lower deck. Always use the seal belt when in your seats, and always use the handrail steps provided with the climb onto and off the machine. Engine housing. Engine enclosed with the reinforced housing. Engine drive with the 4 hydraulic pumps, one of which drive with the compressor, which turns provided with the brake power. Alternator supplied with electrical power to charge the batteries, provided with the power to the crane control circuits. Accessory lighting. Hydraulic tank. A single 220-gallon hydraulic tank painted blue is located between the fuel tank and engine with the left side of the relation to the car with the upper frame. The hydraulic tank contains the suction return of the filters, and 600 gallon per minute oil cooler is mounted on the top of the tank. Fuel tank. A single 140-gallon fuel tank painted with green is mounted on the left side of the relation to the cab of the upper frame. Access stairs provided with the access of the filler cap. Compressor housing air compressor, and the brakes for the brakes of the mounted below the compressor, and the generator for the electromagnetic, as well as the battery supplying with the voltage, various control consoles, lighting, cabin fans, etc. Your turntable slewing ring. An anti-fixture rolling bearing slewing ring supports the upper frame of the superstructure for the lower frame of the carrier with the bearings that allows the 360 degrees continuous rotation swing in either direction movement of the superstructure controlled with the V with the left hand control in the cab. The rotation is the swing driven until mounted on the upper frame of the rear of the machine is a positive swing lock prevents the swing during the travel. See next page for lower deck carrier. Alright, your lower deck carrier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The lower deck housing, axle, drivetrain, assembled suspension brakes of both hydraulic and manual handbrake, the transmission mounting of the train coupling system, and electrical hydraulic power signals are transferred to the upper rotating deck through this lower deck of the rotating union, the hydraulic swivel electrical slip ring. Air with the braking system also passed with the rotary union. Hydraulic motor lines are 3-speed driven transmission, couple the transmission, multiple torque, reduce the speed of transmission, power for the drive shaft, the axle, and the solid axle shaft, pinion and ring gear within 4.4 to 0.58 to 1 ratio. The wheels are solid mounted on the axles and outer bearing with the attached machine suspension. The suspension should always be locked out during the working operation. See next page for boom or winch system. This shows the suspension lockout. Boom and winch systems. Alright, the LMMI level measures the super elevation of the track. The boom A angle indicator measures the angle of the boom. The crane's LMU shop operation boom with the too high bypass the lower to prevent the booms of damaging the tip of the machine. The inner and outer stabilizer, mass pendants, and load sheaves, anti-block blocking, prevents hook and block from them with prevents hook block contact with the sheave. And the hook block is too high or lowers it from its alarm. Load cell measures the weight of the total load. Secondary boom, roto pneumatic electrical cable winch, and primary boom direction indicator. LMI sensor mounted to the upper deck of the direction below the winch and area. The sensor uses 8 directional tags mounted on the lower deck, which comes in close with the proximity tag of the information sent back on the LMI. The LMI sign this item it works in concern with each other with determining stability of the compromise according to pre-programmed load charts. The boom in the winch system includes primary boom with the mounted on the upper deck, secondary boom with the main, secondary winch system, and an auxiliary winch system is optional. Boom system provides infrastructure with the lift load with the winches of the rear-built cranes and fitted with lattice systems. Boom system is compromised with the 2 or 3 sections of the crane shift or the factory with the primary, secondary booms installed with the boom expansion is shipped. Alright. The boom provides structure with a lifted load with the winches, rebuilt cranes are fitted with lattice-style booms. The boom is compromised with the 2 or 3 sections of the crane shift from the factory with the primary, secondary bolts and second booms installed. The boom extension is shipped loose and in order that is optional. The booms closest to the superstructure is the primary boom. The secondary boom can be mounted on either the primary boom or the boom extension, which is mounted on the primary boom. The boom system makes out of the following angle sides: 80 degrees front and rear, 77 degrees and incline, 70 degrees. Crane LMI. Read underfit of the crane's LMI booklet, including the volume 2 behind the crane system. The tab of the LMI system can prevent the machine damage and injury to stop the using stopping unsafe operation, but it can also be bypassed temporarily. Only use the bypass to get off the unsafe condition. Never push beyond the machine's limits. The anti-tube locking system safety of this machine is equipped with an anti-tube locking system. Do not rely on the system and use the good judgment and experience, but they accept the safety crane operation procedures. Systems provided with a warning operator that the tube lock condition is about to occur, but they can take into account action to prevent it. The system is an integral part of the crane system LMI. Alright, figure 3 is your center console reference drawing of an electrical, your PSI, Murphy, kilometers, kilometer temperature, pressure, hours, your oil temperature, your parking, first, second, and third gear, downshift delay, emergency pump, shutdown, engine shutdown, override, electrical interlock emergency, engine speed, ignition. Alright, 1. Ignition. The switch power to all the circuits are activated to start when head fully clockwise. 2. The engine speed. Push monetary toggle switch toward the high pressure. Increase engine speed. Maximum speed at 2100 RPMs. Push monetary toggle switch low. Decrease the engine speed. Minimum speed at least to 1100 RPMs. Note the engine always starts at low idle and switches to high for track travel working operations. 3. The gear indicator starts to indicate with the gear of the machine. The gear shifting is done using the left hand controller rocker shift switch, which see the hand controls later section. Also downshift status of the LED below. 4. The engine shutdown over engine shutdown emergency travel purposes. Red pilot light is when the engine shutdown override is activated. Caution: the engine is not protected from low oil pressure or high temperature damage while this is in the mode. While in this mode. 5. Engine emergency pump switch. The use of the raise the hook of the block of the lower and straighten the crane boom in the event of the catastrophic hydraulic figure. See more detailed instruction later in this manual. 6. Electrical interlocking. Electrical interlock when pushed and disable propulsion. The joystick function should be used during the warm-up and the inspection. 7. Emergency stop. Emergency stop. Push button, shut down engine. Pull out of the button to reset. The emergency stopping at the end of the operation section. 8. Down status LED. The red LED comes on if the speed of the machine is not low enough for the transmission to downshift shafting. The higher speed will cause the damage to either the engine or transmission. The light will remain until the lower speed is reached, at which the time the gear will shift and dynamic braking will increase. It cannot override the delayed downshift. To cancel the downshift, stay in the current gear to tap the unfront button of the left-hand controller. Alright, figure 4, the center console reference drawing. You have your PSI, Murphy kilometers, the transmission temperature, the hours, your oil temperature, your fuel. Alright, 9. Duplex pressure air gauge. Display system pressure for the train line. Brake pressure 10. The transmission temperature show the temperature in transmission oil should not be more than 210 degrees Fahrenheit. Transmission pressure should show the pressure in transmission fluid normal range of 230 to 290 psi. The hour meter displays the working hours used in determining maintenance tasks as well as the keeping on the track of the engine hours use. The hydraulic oil temperature shows the temperature of hydraulic oil should not be over the 180 degrees Fahrenheit. 14. Fuel level measures the level of diesel fuel in the fuel tank. Do not allow it to go into the red zone. 15. Speedometer, odometer combo displays the speed in miles per hour and kilometers. 16. Murphy and diagnostics shows the complete range of engine parameters, including the engine speed and oil pressure, coolant temperature, etc. See next page for Murphy gauge use. Alright, your 5 and figure 8 engine diagnostics. Your faceplate features amber warning LED screen, light and manual key, low arrow screw, right arrow scroll, enter key, bezel, and red shutdown derated LED. Turn off the ignition switch into the first attempt. Power will come on, but the engine does not start. Wait for the power view will come on with the way to start. The preheat message will appear on the screen. The light wait to start directly beneath the power view will turn on while the message disappears. The light goes on if it states to start the engine. Alright, this key looks like the menu key. The menu key is touched either to enter the exit menus. The menu key is only during the factory setup procedures, component data, section, additional operation setup instruction. The left arrow moves the left upward in the 4 up screen. You can use the left arrow at any time to return to the previous screen. Right arrow, use the right arrow key to move the right or downward in an 4 up screen or to move up in the next 4 controls. The enter key is used with the fault with the curve. Generally, any fault with the curves will come up with the screen at the time it happens. In order to go back to the original status of the screen, you have to push the enter key once. Note that this will hide the fault screen until you 1. Correct the fault or 2. Press enter again. Warning light. Amber LED status light appears located upper left and upper right side of the power view. While they are lit, the screen will tell you the fault and code number of the fault and the method to correct the fault. Amber warning light signal the activity fault code list comes in the abnormal conditions exist, not necessarily shut down the engine immediately, but the problem should be corrected as soon as possible. The light will remain until all faults are corrected. Note that there may be more than one fault next, or the more appears on the bottom of the screen. You can also hide the faults hiding the enter key, hitting the enter key, then hitting the enter key again will take you back to the fault. Ignore the active default codes warning the shutdown could result in severe engine damage. Your shutdown D-rate light, the red LED. The LED says they're located on the upper left and upper right side of the power view when they are lit. The screen will tell you the fault code, the code number of the fault, and the method of corrected default. The red shutdown D-rate LED signals the curve requires immediate action. Shut down the engine. Do not turn the switch or the off position. You must go through the codes on the screen to correct the problems prior to restarting the engine. The power view remembers the arrows. Ignore the active default codes warning on the shutdown could result in severe engine damage. Screen display. Usually the monitor engine and the engine controls. All right, hidden faults and warning. If you are hidden, hit the enter key with the fault of the condition and return with the original 4 up or 1 up. The screen will now show the icons up at the right hand corner of the up 1 up screen with the middle up 4 up screen to show the figure below to show where the faults occur. In the 4 up screen shell below with the explanation point appears in the middle of the staff and showing the fault with the oil pressure. Remember, the screen will show the next or more if more with one occurs occupied. Scroll through the screen until you find the individual component that has the fault. Highlight the component. Press the enter key. Read the fault. That indicates the fault has been hidden, but the icon tells you which kind of fault. This indicates the oil pressure setting of the unit has a hidden fault. Each fault has a different meaning with different methods to correct these. Are as exclamation circle indicates auxiliary gauge fault, and triangle exclamation point indicates faulty warning. Triangle hexagon or octagon, exclamation plate octagon indicates derated shutdown conditions. No fault can only be cleared when the fault has been corrected. Shut down machine as soon as possible when encountered with a shutdown fault. Figure 6 overhead control console, Figure 6. 1. The 24-volt system, then the clean and bypass hydraulic filters from boom swing pressure, main winch pressure, auxiliary winch pressure, cooling return, and D-rocks return. Your magnet on and your silence alarm, your off generator, and your lights and wipers and off pressure. 1. Magnet overheated warning light. Warning alarm. The force of the magnet ends over the time of the overheating. To avoid the overheating, the magnet signal will go to the time of the timer. Turns the alarm on if and continues only for 5 minutes. Adjustable timers inside the box. The silence button is audible alarm off the temporarily. Magnet on status LED. The red LED comes on when the magnet is turned on. The magnet is turned on. The use of the right hand controller. See the controller later in the section. Silence alarm button. Press the reset timer and silence audible alarm. Generator on or off. Turns the magnet generator on or off, usually only when the magnet is to be used. 5. This filter status LEDs. Lights give the status of the return pressure line filters. Optional case drain the filter. Green LED filter does not require servicing. Red LED alarm state filters require servicing. Element requires replacing. Figure 7, your overhead control consoles. Now we're going through 6 and 7. The lights off and on, working with a boom travel locomotive and perimeter off, pressurizer and wipers on and off and overhead in front. Lights on and off switch to turn the lights on and off. Note that some lights are optional. Locomotive light optional 3-position switch. Center off position used on turn lights to the high and beam and the off low beam. Pressurizer optional. Turn the cab pressure on and off. Wipers turn the wipers on and off. Figure 8, your optional aerotronic heater, a red light heater, a red LED heater, off switch, blue LED fan, and temperature control knob. Your heater button, push the button to start the heater. You can adjust the required temperature by using the temperature control knob. Note that the red light to the left will go on when the heater is on. Red LED, which indicates whether or not the heater is a piece of equipment or a heater on the fan operating. Red LED on heater is selected. Red LED off heater is not selected. Off button turns off the equipment control with the mini controller heater or the fan. Fan button, press the button to start the fan mode. The blue LED will go on. The fan is on. Note when the use of the heater button temperature control knob does not function. The blue LED indicates whether or not the fan is a piece of equipment, heater, or fan operating. Blue LED light on if the fan is selected. Blue LED light fan off. Fan is not selected. Temperature control knob controls heating is approximately low setting at approximately 47 degrees Fahrenheit and high setting approximately 77 degrees Fahrenheit. More information about the aerotronic systems can be found behind the Other tab in the volume 2 of this manual. Alright, figure 9, your optional 7-day timer. This timer allows pre-selection to turn on the time up to 7 days in advance, as well as the operation run times up to 2 hours before automatically turning on. In addition, if there's any on switch of the manual operation provided, the default timer is preset by the ESPAR to operate before 2 hours. So you should operate an optional 7-day timer. Control 1 is 1 through 7 of the times set. With the press the hold the button, change the diamond of the die. 2 and 6 preheat the times. There are 3 memory locations display. Item 6 for the preheat. Press the button until you have reached the preheating setting that you wish. To reset the preset heater start, press the preheat button. Use the left or the right scan button to set the time. 3 and 9 heater status. If the heater's on the display item 9 will be on this button. Is pressing to turn off the heater. The heater should disappear where the heater is not functioning. 4 backward scan and scroll backward to display the time, date, and depending on which of the button you have pressed prior to the scanning button. Forward scan scroll forward to display the time and date and setting depending on which button you have pressed prior to the scanning button. Note more information on aerotronic systems can be found behind the other tab in the volume 2 of this manual. Are your crane's LMI primary operating main screen? Danger, tipping hazard for the avoid the dangerous serious injury and ensure the loading of the crane's configuration or where within capacities are shown with the crane loading rating. The chart knows that the crane should have the functional loading moment indicator and control the lockout system of the testing daily with the proper operation. Do not change the pre-programmed LMI settings without first calling Nordco. If you are a certified crane operator, you understand the danger for the crane overloading and how overloading protection systems are used, such as the load meter indicator can be assist your keeping in safety. Basically, the load moment indicators will stop the crane if the load is too heavy and imbalanced. This will cause these could cause the crane boom, the system to collapse or tip over the crane master. The load meter moment indicator has been an alarm system to indicate that when the crane has been overloaded, it shall never be manually overridden by bypass except to correct an unsafe condition. The crane is a load meter indicator is to be used in aid to operator with no replace the safety operation practices and procedures established by your company. The operator should know how to read the load charts, knowing the swing and the height limits of the machine during the lift, never to rely solely on the load meter indicator to indicate when it's safe to operate this machine. This is done with various reasons. First and most important, the operator should be able to complete the lift of the event with the load meter and malfunction load meter indicator malfunctions warning. Your load meter indicator is pre-programmed for the primary and secondary booms only. Do not install extensions that attempt to lift loads without first contacting Nordco. You must have the load meter indicator reprogrammed. Or the crane's load meter indicator primary operating main screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one crane meter main screen alarm system 11. Crane load meter indication main system screen crane system bypass select and up and down areas except. 1. Display the actual load of the hookup in the pounds of the main auxiliary to change the winch of the screen with passing the up arrow to display the percentage of the preset maximum load defined with the previous program load chart. If there is no load in the bar graph, it will be blank. Display the maximum allowable load as defined with the pre-programmed load chart. 4. Display the angle of the boom in degrees using the horizontal line at 0. 5. Display the current radius. 6. Allow the operator to bypass the existing alarm to restore the crane function of the system and is an alarm duration of the bypass. 3 seconds, which should be allowed the load to be set in the event of an emergency. 7. Allow the other operator to enter any of the highlighted field. 8. Allow the primary operating screen to allow the operator to view the data of different winches that have other screens that allows the operator to toggle between the menu. 9. A pre-operating screen which allows the operator to view the data on different winches than other screens that all the operators to toggle with between the menus. 10. Use to accept and save any adjusting settings. 11. Sample alarm state. Refer to the crane master manual in component with the data manual behind the other tab for more information for the alarm status. States the audible alarm will sound whenever the alarm states occur. Depending on the severity of the alarm, the machine may or may not shut down. A number of the lower right hand screen reflects the alarm code number. This is helpful when referencing alarm codes in the OMG guide. Alright, safety. In addition to the alarm stated with the shutdown of the operation for the machine, the load meter indicator will also include battery status. The load battery status appears on the screen, but you'll have approximately 3 weeks before the battery fails. It's not recommended that you wait that long. When the low battery appeals, make the current certain the next week of maintenance includes replacing the battery. Cranes often offers free battery replacement kits that include seals. Do not attempt to install your own battery. Contact them at 1-888-562-3222. You need to have an SN and a load meter indicator order to get the free kit. This can be found with either display in the cab of the load of the cell itself. Figure 9 through 9C braking propulsion. Main train, manual train brake, your A9 locomotive brake lever, and your brake pedal, propulsion pedal. Or your brake left foot pedal. Press the foot switch to apply the brake. Stop the working operation. Apply the handbrake at the beginning of the cab. The press the electrical interlocking button with the center console before the existing of the cab. During the working operation, apply the handbrake valve of the cab. Press the electrical interlocking button with the center control console. Exists. The machine is set with the manual with the train block located on the lower frame. 2. Your propel foot pedal. The foot pedal is a bidirectional electrically controlled pedal with more, but the pedal is to press the toe end or the heel end the faster the speed of the travel of the machine. Note that use the gear selector push button on the left-hand controller. Never reverse the direction of the travel of the machine without first letting the machine come to a complete stop. 3. The A9 locomotive brake lever is forward detention position, which allows the varying degrees of the braking. Normal running off position is always the way forward. The breaker lever is only used when there is a train line attached to the crane. Train is an A9 locomotive brake operator must be provided with an employer prior to the use by operator, and 4. Manual train brakes. Alright, figure 10, your hand control configurations. Your left hand control boom transmission. Starting at from going machine creep bell optional front top boom down swing boom clockwise from horn front bottom boom up gear down swing block counter clockwise gear up. Your right hand control which magnet bells and horns. Magnet on-tack bell optional front top main winch down auxiliary winch down horn front bottom main winch up magnetic off bottom auxiliary winch up. Are your gear selected switch and LED. The first gear, low gear, using during lifting and carrying operation. Second gear, used during normal working condition. Third gear, used in high-speed travel track, 28 miles per hour maximum. Alright, your little parking first gear downshift delay, the downshift status LED, RED that comes on with the speed of the machine is not low enough that the transmission downshift shifting at a higher speed will cause the damage to either the engine transmission light remains until the lower speed is reached, at which the time the gear will shift and dynamic braking will increase. You cannot override the delay down switch. To cancel the downshift, stay in the current gear, tap on the upper front button on the left-hand controller. Caution, always start travel in the first gear and shift up in the necessary power shift transmission. Starting in second or third gears will lead to premature failure of the transmission. Alright, table 11, miscellaneous controls located remotely on the machine. Hydraulic oil tank on site level. Located on the hydraulic oil tank indicates the level of the hydraulic oil in the tank. Hydraulic oil temperature gauge located on the bottom of the hydraulic oil light subtle gauge indicates the temperature of the hydraulic oil. Normal operating temperature is 80 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Engine emergency pump optional. Located in the right-hand corner of the center area of the machine, the pump is used with whichever the loss of the main hydraulic power with the movement of the boom swing drive. The necessary pump with the flow is applied momentarily holding the toggle switch electrical pump option. See the emergency pumping operation end of the section 6 for more details. Use the operation with the emergency position emergency pump top off pump optional. Located on the left hand side of the frame under the fuel tank pump is used with the filling with the hydraulic tank. The pump is manually operated with the pushing and the pulling on the handle. Your free fall valve located on the cab wall next to the left hand controller. The valve is to be used only in the event of the emergency when personnel are not under the load. Pressing the valve handle will cause the load to drop. Your remote drain valve, located on the hydraulic tank. Green is used for the draining of the fuel tank. Blue is used for the draining of the hydraulic tank, and black is green for the draining of the engine oil. Pre-operation. This page is intentionally left blank. Alright, I'm going to cut the video right here, and this will be probably part 3, I'm thinking.